Perfect. I think we are on time. Without wasting any more valuable time of yours, let's quickly start the session. So most of us, we've heard from students, we have seen a lot of resumes from students. What we have noticed is that, one second. Oops. Okay, what we have noticed is that most of the resumes don't get shortlisted thanks to all these new technologies like application tracking system and all these AIs filtering out your resumes, right? And one of the first criterias for any job or an internship is your resume. So today we have with us Mr. Richik Sinha Roy. He's the founder of Urify, which primarily he started with a vision to help job seekers land their dream jobs 2 times faster. Urify is an intelligent web application that helps you build perfect and job winning resumes. And it also helps you match you to the right jobs that you will have a better chance of getting that particular job if you apply using their platform. Okay. He's graduated from National University of Singapore with a degree in computer engineering and a minor in technology and entrepreneurship called technopreneurship. So he's a co-founder of Urify, as I've already told. He also currently is an officer at the Indian Army as a part-time working in the Indian government service. Glad to have you here with us, Mr. Richik. So without further ado, I'll hand over the session to you so that the students can get valuable lessons on how they could build and craft their perfect resume and land their dream jobs. At the end of the day, that's what they're looking forward to hear from you then. Over to you, Mr. Richik.
Thank you so much, Yogesh, for that wonderful introduction. And good evening to all of you. I see 615 people on the call, and that number has been increasing exponentially. Plus, if anybody is watching from Facebook, wishing you a warm good evening. Welcome to this session. Okay, so we have a very, very short time and we have a lot of content to cover. Plus, I want to go into questions. So let's do this. Okay, let me quickly share my screen. Okay, let me see. I've made a quick presentation for you guys. So by the way, before we start, I want to tell you, all of you on the call, you guys get free access to a brilliant resume builder. I'll show you how this works, but basically you will be able to use this platform and you will be able to download your resume that's just perfectly formatted without you having to worry about it, right? So you see over here, for example, if you just click on the personal details section, let me just show this to you, right? You can just add your name here. So let's say I add Surbhi, okay? And I just say save. See this. The resume gets updated and you will be able to download it. Let me show you. And by the way, there are some very, very interesting designs over here. You will be able to see different designs. You will be able to choose different template colors. And that's it. You will be able to preview it. This is what the resume looks like, and you will be able to download it as well. What do you guys think? Are you guys interested in finding out about this resume builder? Give me a EXC, excited on the chat if you guys are excited. I want to see the chat explode. Yeah. Okay, great. Fantastic. Great. So good to have all of you. Wow, very nice. I can see the chat exploding right now. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Great. So let's start. So how do you build a resume that gets you an interview call for every job you apply? Okay, very quickly, I think Yogesh has already introduced me, but what he missed out on, okay, when I graduated from National University of Singapore, I was actually 115 kilos. When people see this photograph, they're like, really? Is this you? Like, you know, why would I Photoshop myself to be fat? And then from there, like you guys heard, I went and joined the Indian Army. And this is me from Indian Military Academy. If you have seen Lakshya, you would know it. And I graduated as the best officer cadet from almost 500 other officer students. Yeah. But what is interesting is after this, I also became an entrepreneur and I co-founded Urify, like Yogesh said, to help students like you get placed. Okay. So very quickly, before we get into the resume, first thing I want to break is how do I get a job, right? You guys are in 3rd and 4th year. We need to understand the entire process of getting a job. Okay, so let's do this. First thing first. First myth I want to break. Okay, tell me true or false. Okay, I'm giving you a statement here. What do you think? Can you chill in college and rely on placement for a job? True or false? Okay, Jainam feels true. Okay, some of you feel it's true. Completely false, guys. Completely false. Okay, you know why? You know why? The reason is that, okay, by the way, let me tell you a stat that the people who graduated last year, 67% of Indian graduates last year still do not have a job. And all the people who are graduating this year, they are competing with you as well. It's a cutthroat competition. The placement cells are not working. More importantly, all the placements are getting online. Doesn't work. Okay. Second myth. Do college grades matter? True or false? Let's see. True somehow. You want this to be false, right? How does it matter? It depends. True or false? Somehow true. Depends on the college partially. Okay, great. It depends. Not that much. Partially true. Okay, here is the thing. Focus first. Okay, so now stop chatting and listen to what I'm saying. Okay, there are two ways of getting placed. Number one, college placement. For college placement, your college grades are all that matter. I have been on the HR side. They simply come to college, then they say all those who have a CGPA more than 7, give me their names. It matters. But there are many ways of getting placed, of getting a job. And if you are going to a place outside of your campus, your college placement, college grades don't matter. But what matters is if you have the right skills. Making sense? So college placement matters, but don't worry. Even if your college grades are not great, that is not the end of the world. There are many ways where you can get a job. And I will show you that. Number 3, freshers don't need experience. What do you guys think? True or false? True. Freshers don't need experience. Most of you think it's true. False. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Stop chatting. Focus. Stop chatting. Focus. Guys, freshers very much need relevant experience. But what I'm telling you here is that your experience is not just your internships. It can be your projects. It can be any freelance work you've done. It can be your academic subjects. It could be a certification Coursera. Everything counts as an experience. But what's important is, if you are applying as a machine learner, you need to have experience in machine learning. If you're applying to be a game developer, you need to have experience in game development. If you're applying to be a civil engineer, you need to have experience in civil engineering. It is very much required. Okay. Now that we have broken these 3 myths, it's very important you understand this. I'm repeating. Don't rely on placements. College grades matter for placement, but it's more important to have the right skills. Thirdly, definitely you need experience. So to answer Ashish's question, how do we get experience? Okay. First thing first that I want you to understand is, even though you're in 3rd and 4th year, you need to choose a career. You need to decide what job you want to apply to. Okay, don't worry, I'm just being very quick with this. Second, once you have chosen a career, you need to identify the skills required for that career. Okay, once you have identified those skills, you need to skill up. Okay, you really need to skill up. So here is my question to you. For this, you require a career counselor, maybe someone who can guide you with the career, who can guide you that with this career, what skills are required. How do I skill up? How do I apply it? How many of you agree Tell me, agree if you feel you need a career counselor. Wow, this is a very participative batch. I like that. I like a participative batch. Agree? Agree? Okay, great. So I am here to give you the best career counselor in the entire world. Are you guys interested? It's a free of cost. You get this career counselor free of cost. His name is Google Baba. Right? Guys, you need to first know these 3 skills, and your your career counselor is Google Baba. Okay. Now let me show this to you. All the people, right? Let me show you a real Google search. Okay. So for example, you have to decide what career you want. You need to start Googling. Okay. What is it? So say you want to have a career in machine learning, right? Machine learning career. Guys, when the moment you Google it, okay, first ignore all the ads. I hope you know that by now, right? See this? How to develop a machine learning career? Guys, you need to start researching the internet and start reading up. You need to be prepared. Otherwise, don't expect to sit and chill and a job will come to your lap. Okay. Once you understand what a career looks like, what you will be doing, more important. And you can do this for any career. Okay. So forget the ads. 7 skills you need to be a machine learning engineer, right? Applied mathematics, computer science, fundamentals, and programming. You'll know the exact subjects. This works for example, if you want to be a chef. Okay. You will know, for Google can give you the answer to every single thing. And once you have those skills, once you have made a list of what skills is required, you have to do 3 things. First thing, you have to learn the skill. How do you learn it? Quickly. Is there any skill in the world today that you cannot learn? Tell me. Tell me on the chat. Do you think is there any skill in the world that you cannot learn? Give me some websites from which you can learn for free, not even paid. Give me some websites. Okay, YouTube. Okay, Udemy, vSchool, Coursera, Udemy, Chrome. Do you see this? Right? Okay. Geeks for Geeks, Google itself, LinkedIn, Cisco, edX. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. I'm sure a lot of you have also signed up for courses. I'm sure you're signed up for a course on Coursera, HackerEarth, right? Okay, guys. Okay, focus here now. Focus here. Yeah, some courses are paid. Like for example, Udemy courses are like 500 rupees if you take the discount. Worth it. It's worth spending that money to skill up. Okay, but focus on me. Do you guys know this stat? This is, by the way, Coursera data for almost 1 million people who sign up. So for every 100 people who sign up, okay. So for example, there is a course, let's take a different career. Let's say civil engineering principles. Okay. So if there is a course called civil engineering principles and say 100 people sign up for it, guess how many people out of 100 complete the course? Take a guess. 20. I see some honest people here. 1, less than 10, 4, 3, 10 to 15, right? 5, okay, great. 25, 10, depends on the people. 40 to 50, okay. 0.5, under 15. Okay, guys, do you know the actual answer? Right, I think somebody has Googled it. I couldn't read the name. The chats are going so fast. The answer is 2. 2 people. Just 2 out of 100 actually complete the course. And guys, these are the 2 people who get hired. At the end of the day, it's an absolute fact, Aditya. At the end of the day, people simply want sincere students. Sincerity is something that I cannot teach you, but I can just tell you the reality out there. Once you have completed a course, next thing is to apply it. Okay. It's easiest for a software developer. Make a GitHub account, create some websites. Guys, this is what will get you a job even if you don't have grades. And the third and the most important thing I want to tell you guys, internships. Okay. Even if you cannot get internships, okay, let me change the chat. I'm going to give you two websites. Okay. The first one is called Internshala. The second one is called angel.co. I put these on the page for you guys, right? These two websites, I'm sure a lot of you know it, but let me tell you, every startup in India hires from these places. I'm sure a lot of you have had. Why is it important for you? Guys, if you're not paying attention, please pay attention. Guys, startups don't care what your experience is. Why? Because they won't pay you any money. They'll say, come and work for free. Yes, of course, even freelance. But it is absolutely fine even if you're working for free, because that internship is like gold. Putting an experience on your resume can get you into any fresher's job in the world. Okay, great. Now that we have done this, then it makes sense to have a brilliant resume. So now let me go to the main part, the one you've been looking for. Resume. First of all, how many of you can relate to this? When freshers they create from resume for the first time, सब कुछ थोड़ा डाल देते हैं. Hobbies and experience. There is some sports. There is some projects. There is some this, etc., etc., and it's become a 3-page resume. How many of you can relate to this? Yeah, in the starting you have everything. It becomes a 3-page resume, right? Guys, this is the biggest challenge. Huh? The biggest challenge is if you have a 3-page resume. 4-page, right? Okay. Guys, do you know what happens when the HR sees a 3-page resume? Let me show you. You guys can see my screen, right? If the HR sees a 3-page resume of a fresher, this is what happens. Okay. As a fresher, you can only have 1-page resume. Okay. By the way, this is my Instagram page. You can follow us for more cool content, but you need to have only 1-page resume. Okay. So now we are coming to the good stuff, and let me show you what is a good 1-page resume. Okay, done. So guys, do you want to see this? Do you want to see what is the perfect format for a fresher? Tell me BIO. Bring it on the chat if you want to see the perfect format for a fresher. Yes. Shall we do this? Wow, I love the excitement. I'm going to wait for 50 more replies. I want all the backbenchers who are not replying. Give me a BIO. Let's do this. Okay, fantastic. Okay, great. So now let me jump into the format. Guys, on your resume as a fresher, so right on top, of course, you get your summary and objective, right? Give me a second. And then your education comes on top, right? After that, you are only allowed 2 more sections. What are those 2 sections? The first section is relevant experience. Remember, I told you, if you are applying for a certain job title, you need to have relevant experience. Okay. So for example, if you're applying to say a mechanical post, so you can say relevant mechanical experience. If you're applying as a Python developer, relevant Python experience. If you're applying as a marketing guy, relevant marketing experience. Okay. And under this section, you write all the relevant experience. So relevant internships. Okay. This is the best. Remember, I told you Internshala, I told you angel.co. If you do not have internships, okay, never mind. Have you done some project? So you're applying as a web developer. Have you made websites? Never mind. You don't have it. Have you done some freelance work? Okay, put that. Okay. In case you don't have even relevant projects, some accomplishments, So for example, if you're applying as a data scientist, Excel is very important. Can you say that for your college fest, you handled a database of 10,000 students' data? Okay. If not that, at least some certification you have done. Coursera, Udemy, HackerRank, so many websites. Have you done some course at least relevant? Even if not that, have you at least put some academic subjects as a part of your degree? You did a subject on data science, etc., etc. These are all relevant. Okay. Okay. By the way, okay. So, by the way, let me just 1 second. It's just come as a. Give me 1 second. Okay. If you do not have at least 2 out of 5, at least, best is to have 5. But if you do not have 2 out of 5, remember pass mark 40%, you have no business applying. Am I making sense? I'm repeating. If you do not have at least 2 out of these 5 accomplishments, you have no business applying because nobody will hire you. Life is not like, when God is sitting there, oh, you're such a nice fresher, come, let me give you a job. No, guys, there is enough of competition. If you do not have 2 out of 5, go back to the presentation. I will let you take a screenshot. Burn this into your mind. If you do not have, go to part 3. Learn it, apply it, internship it. Learn it, you have a certification. Apply it, you have a project. Internship it, you have got an internship. Get the experience right now in the next 6 months and then come back. Okay? And then continuing on the format. Everything else, you want to put hobbies, you want to put, you're a karate player, you want to put, you are part of the TEDx committee, ASEC, everything else you can put in one more section called the other accomplishments. Got it? So I'm about to wrap up because I want to go into Q&A. But guys, what do you think about this format? What do you guys think about this format? What do you guys think? If the work is not related to the domain, it goes into other accomplishments. Do you guys think that this is a great format in which you can put everything into one page? Right? Right? Very nice, good, precise. This is what this, by the way, this has been developed by URFI. On point? Okay. Now, guys, I am going into the main crux where you can easily build a website on your own. Okay. So I am going to share the link with all of you so that you can all make an account right now. Okay, let's do this. Let me put it on chat. Let me see this. Okay, all panelists and attendees, I am sharing this resume builder link with you. And let me show off the features. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I have posted the link on the chat. You guys can go and visit this. Later, you can create an account. But right now, just see, come back on the call and see how this works. Okay, the moment you log into the platform, it will take you to this page. So all of you can select the I am a fresher. Okay, you can upload your existing resume, which is not working right now, or you can start from scratch. See this. Once you have come to this, you can select whichever template you like. I personally love this template, but you can select any template. There is this template. There are right now 6 different templates. Okay, so you can select any one. Okay, you can change the color. So I personally like this teal color. Okay, now let's go into section by section. In the personal details, you can put everything you want, your phone number, email ID. If you're a coder, you want to put a GitHub account or a Stack Overflow account, or if you're a designer, you want to put a Behance account, it's there. Now, this is the interesting part, guys. So every resume has a summary and objective, right? Experienced software developer. In your case, it would be or a passionate graduate. Guys, look at this. If you are a software developer, we have actually given you a library of statements that you can select from. See this? This has been done if you're applying for an internship. So say you're applying as a marketing intern. Look at this. You can just add skilled marketing professional bringing years of experience, versatile and adaptable approach. Okay. So the moment you do this, you will be able to save it, and that's it. You can, your summary will automatically have the statement. You can do this for every single section for every resume. And once, okay, now as I was telling you, as a fresher, what you need to do, you need to have relevant experience, right? So you can add the section. Okay. Over here, make a section called relevant. Say, for example, you're applying to data experience. Okay. And then you have accomplishments. So as a fresher, the first thing you guys will need to do is that you will need to delete the work experience section. Okay. And then your education and skills comes on top over in the relevant data experience, guys. Whatever I showed you in the format, you just need to add that. Wait, let me just minimize this. Okay. So over here, you just need to edit it. You can add everything, your relevant internships, your projects, etc., etc. And that's it. Once you have made this one-page resume, you can just download it as a PDF. Okay. So I have shown you the exact format and how to use the website to make this. So that's it. With this, we are done with this session. Now, if there are any questions you guys have, I would have to take. So look at this. Your PDF resume will be downloaded. Okay. So all of you have access to this. You guys can go ahead and make it. There is some more content on this. If you want the builder link, it's here. Okay. So right. So that's it. We have come to the end of this session. Now I am happy to take up any questions. Okay, great. I have this thing from Yogeshwaran. Okay, great. Okay, cool. So Yogeshwaran, if you want, I can take some more content on the ATS, but I've already shown the students how to create the resume in the right format and how to use the platform to do it. Yeah. So any questions you want to put it in the question answers and etc. Let me stop the share. Give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, great. So yeah, Yogesh, if you want me to cover some more content on ATS, I can, or we can take up the question, whatever you say. I cannot hear you, Yogesh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Would
yeah,
love if
now
you can cover some more topic or content in terms of how do they work with ATS. That was, I thought that was coming first. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So let's do that. So since you guys want to know a little bit more about the ATS, let me talk about that. Okay, great. So let me go back to my presentation. Okay, so I want to quickly, guys, share some very important stats about the job industry with you. The first thing first is that, like Yogesh was talking about this ATS, right? 95% of all Fortune 500 companies, they use a software called ATS, okay, which rejects 90% of all resumes. Now, I want you to get the gist of this. What this basically means is, if, for example, Uber has saved, okay, by the way, I am very close friends with the hiring head of Uber. So I speak to him, right? So when I ask him that how many resumes does Uber get, what do you guys think? What do you think the answer is? How many resumes does Uber get in one day? 10,000s, 5K, 10,000s, 1 lakh, 10K. Okay, 1,000. Okay, 10,000. Right. Most of you have got the right answer. Right. It's about 10,000 resumes. Okay. So out of 10,000 resumes, guess what? 9,000 are rejected by a software. 9,000 are rejected by a software. Do you guys think that's crazy? Tell me crazy on the chat if you think that's crazy. 9,000 out of 10,000 resumes rejected by a software. Yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then that's not even enough. Why is that so? Guys, because so I asked him the question. I asked him question that why do you do this? So you know what he said? He said, yeah, I have an HR team of 10 people. How can we go through 10,000 resumes? So what we do is we check if the resume matches the job description. Now I will show you how to do that. But before that, if you think this is the end of it, let me show you part two. Now, out of the 1,000 resumes, how many people are called for an interview on an average? What do you guys think? From 1,000 people, how many people are called for an interview on an average? Okay, 120, nearly 130, 40. Yeah. So for freshers, it's more. For freshers, it's about 10%, but the industry standard, guys, it's 2%. So out of these 1,000, only 20 on an average are called for an interview. And let me tell you one more thing. You can go and Google it. The HR only spends 7 seconds on actually seeing one resume. Just 7 seconds. And of course, there's an interview. But right now, what I want to do is I want to show you how to beat the ATS. Let me just quickly go to that slide. I did not think we had time to cover it, but since we have a little bit of time, let me show it. Okay. Now I am going to show you exactly how to beat the ATS. Excited? Do you guys want to see how to beat the ATS? Yes. Yeah, guys. Okay. So how to beat the ATS? Guys, remember the resume, simply what the ATS software does is it checks if the resume has the same keywords as your job description. So look at this. So you see, like, this is a standard job description on the left. If you can see my screen, right? Every job description looks like this. That there is some job responsibilities, there's some requirements, there's some skills and abilities, right? Which nobody reads. But look at what Jackie Monier has done. Now, Jackie Monier has applied for this job as a staff accountant, right? But see what he's done. Now, everybody knows every resume has a summary. Then there are some skills. Then there is some experience, and then the education, right? Every summary looks like this. Self-motivated individual with strong written and verbal communication skills. But what you don't realize is that this guy has just taken words from the job description. Self-motivated individual with strong written and verbal communication skills. Let me show you one more thing. Okay. Now, I'm sure all of you have Microsoft. Okay. Let me see. How many of you here have listed Microsoft Excel in your skills? Tell me if you have Microsoft Excel in your resume. Most of you, guys, 90% of all Indian graduate resumes has this Microsoft Excel. Definitely. Okay, some of you don't mention, right? MS Office, Microsoft Suite, something. But see what Jackie Monier has done smartly. Now he saw that in the job description, it's mentioned pivot tables preferred. Right? Pivot tables preferred. So what did he do? In his skills, he wrote Microsoft Excel, including pivot tables. Why? Because the ATS is seeing if your resume has this word. Got it? Now, one more thing, one more crazy hack, let me tell you. Most people don't ever bother to read the roles and responsibility sections. Why? यार एक बार job मिल गया फिर देखेंगे. You want to say, okay, once I get hired, who cares what I will do? But guys, the company is fooling you. They want you to think that this is your future, right? Once you get hired, you will be assisting in preparing balance sheets. You will assist in entering fixed dates. But guys, your responsibilities, the company wants to see if you have done it in your past. Here is where they are checking your experience. So look at what Jackie Monier has smartly done. See this. Because they've asked to assist in preparing balance sheets, prepare balance data for this thing. Now, you guys don't have the experience, but if you have an internship, you can write that. Or as a part of so for example, a finance, you have a degree called accounting. So write that in the accounting degree, we prepared a balance sheet for Microsoft with 3 years of data. Yeah, not only that, look at this. They have asked for that you have to assist and you have to prepare reports to explain current situation, which means he will have to give presentation every Monday morning. So what did he do? Even though he did not have specific experience, what did he write? I produced verbal and written this thing to share ideas. So he is showing, listen, I have done it in my past. So if you see in your job description to explain the current and projected, you should talk about your TEDx experience. You should talk about you hosted an event. Everything that's there in the job description, if you show in your resume, you are guaranteed to beat this ATS. Because all these words the ATS will be looking for, Jackie Moni's resume has all these words. Got it? Got it? Is this interesting? Quickly tell me interesting. This is interesting. Tell me interesting if this was interesting. I hope you guys learned something interesting today. Yeah, this is how to beat the ATS and make sure your resume is not in that 9,000 that are dumped. You want to be in the 1,000. Okay. Okay. Yogesh, do I have some more time? Can I take them through how to beat the 7-second test? Okay,
Ruchik, so my question was, how are we doing it? Is it like a presentation or how are we doing it?
So it is a presentation. I can show how to go to the
Yeah, we have time. Let's do that.
We have time. Let's do that. Okay, great. So guys, so part 1 done. You beat the ATS. Okay. Part 2 is how do we get the HR to select you? Remember, the HR is only seeing your resume for 7 seconds. You want to see how to attract the HR in those 7 seconds. Do you guys want to see? I love when the audience participates with me. Do you guys want to see how to beat the 7-second test? Yeah. Okay, great. Let me see some more response. Let me see if I can find that slide. Okay, got it. Okay. Cool. So let me show this to you. So once your resume, 1 second. Yeah. Okay. So once your resume beats, okay, let me share the presentation. Give me 1 second. Okay. So once your resume has beaten the ATS, you want the HR to select your resume in just 7 seconds. Okay. Now let me show you the summary statement of a really good. So by the way, I am on the training and placement committee of more than 40 colleges. Okay. Including IIT Guwahati. So when I was in IIT Guwahati, one of the computer engineering graduates, he was applying as a game developer. Okay. And this is what his objective summary statement was. Software developer with experience in front-end solutions, web development, and game development, won the coding bootcamp in 2019 by analyzing several necessary requirements, designed and developed a game with complex and intelligent AI-based diet calculator. He won an AI-based coding competition based on weight, body composition, and body type. So he was very excited. Sir, what do you think? Is this a good objective? What do you guys think? Is this a good objective statement? Give this statement a rating out of 10. 8, 4, okay, 7, 9.5, good, 7, okay. Some of you are giving harsh, 5 to an IIT, wow. Okay, 7 out of 10, okay, 7, okay, great, 9.8, okay, fantastic, okay. 9, 10, 9, okay, 8 is the best, okay. Guys, when I saw this statement, guess how much I rated him? His name was, by the way, Gaurav. Okay. So I rated Gaurav 2. 2 out of 10 for this statement. What? Crazy. Now, yeah, and this is exactly what other strategies, when this happened in the webinar, everyone started laughing. And this guy was all red-faced. What? Really? Why? Such a good statement. Why? Right. That's all fine, right? I'll tell you 3 things. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of science to it, but I'll only tell you 3 things. Okay? Number one, remember the HR only has 7 seconds, guys. 7 seconds. Now, if you see most people in their summary or objective, they write everything. Pura kachra bhar dete. This. I am an excellent team player. I'm looking to work with an organization where I can learn and I can contribute. How many of you are guilty of doing that? Long summary where you write everything. I have done Python also, etc., full of keywords. Right? Do you see this? Others are not doing this. Okay, let me tell you what happens in this. The moment you do this, yes, right? Of course, some people are like, nee, I don't want to come out and say it. See this. I am taking the HR shoes. What happens when the HR sees this? Okay, software developer. Remember, he's applying as a game developer, right? So software developer with experience in front-end solutions. So UI, UX, web development. Immediately he's like, why has somebody with web development experience applied to a game developer? Rejected. He will not read further. He only has 7 seconds. Making sense? Quickly, tell me, MS, if this is making sense. In those 7 seconds, you just have to write who you are. So you write that you are a passionate software developer, proficient at game development. Cool. Okay. Second thing. Tell me, how many of you think? Remember, the HR is only 7 seconds. Now this guy has won a coding bootcamp, right? How many of you think the HR will be able to find it in 7 seconds? What do you think? Do you think the HR can find this, that he has won a coding bootcamp in 7 seconds? Some of you are saying yes. I can guarantee you no. I can guarantee you no. In those, the HR doesn't have so much time to go through it. Very nice. You guys are getting there. The word Microsoft. Some of you said you can bold it. But you know the most effective way? The most effective way is to quantify it. Is to put a number. The moment I put that number 10,000 over there, you know what happened? The HR, hey, what is this 10,000? They love zeros, right? Paisa. And the moment they go there, they will see you have won a competition among 10,000 participants. Wow. Okay. Some of you must be saying, but listen, I am not an IITian. I have not won a competition. Doesn't matter. You can still use numbers. How? Organize a college fest with a footfall of 10,000 students. In the final year project, so for example, you did a project on thermodynamic cooling. So did a thermodynamic project which improved the cooling efficiency by 20%. It was in the top 10% of all FIP projects. In the college fest, I worked with a team of 15. Participated in a conference where 10,000 applicants participated. Was awarded in the top 50 speakers. Numbers. The moment you use a number, your resume statement becomes very powerful. Making sense? Making sense, guys? Quickly, one more round of MS. Guys, I'm giving you hacks that will really change your resume. Is it making sense or not? Tell me MS if it is making sense. Oh, wait, I think my chat is going a little slow. Okay, so let me do the third one. While I wait for the chat, the third hack. Okay, Now, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Like now the chats are coming. Third hack, very important. How many of you are guilty of doing this? Okay. When you're explaining a project on your resume, you are explaining everything. I analyzed the several requirements. I designed and developed a game. It was based on weight, body composition, body type. My robot had 10 hands and etc. etc. How many of you have this? Tell me guilty if you're guilty of explaining your entire project. What do you guys think? Yeah, most of you all the time explaining the entire project. Guys, the HR doesn't care what your project did. They don't care your robot had 20 hands or 30 hands. They want to understand the technology behind it, the specifics. Look at this, right? So they want to see, oh, you use artificial neural networks. That's it. Did you use a servo network? What circuit did you use? That's all that matters. And guys, if you do this, look at this resume, filled with words. Look at this. From 47 words, this became 24. Even though you have added more words. This is so much of a difference removing the project explanation can do. Nobody cares. I know you want to show off your work. You want to explain exactly what you did. The HR doesn't care. So now that you know this, now that I've shown you this, what do you guys think? I'm going to ask you to rate this statement again. Now that you understand how the HR looks at a resume, don't you agree with me? Isn't this a 2 out of 10 resume? What do you guys think? How much would you rate it now? Right now, you guys are giving 0.5 or 2, right? Right? Got it? Yeah. So this is the science of building a resume that beats the ATS, and also every statement is crisp. It is showing numbers, and also it is okay. Previous was 4, now it's 1. And what about this statement, guys? The one that I made. What about this statement? The one on the right, the 24-word one. Right. So guys, again, if you want, I'll let you take a screenshot of this. You can quickly take a screenshot of this for reference. No worries. Yeah. Quickly take away. You can take a screenshot. I'll wait for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, done. One more. I am sure you want a screenshot of this. Quickly take a screenshot of this. This is the secret of making a resume that beats the ATS. 3, 2, 1. So you're in the top 10%. Now, how to get called for an interview? Make a resume like this. And definitely use the resume builder that I've shown you, because that will put in a nice format and everything is given for you. Okay. So that's it. I think I am done with what I had to share with you. We can take up some questions. Yogesh, you're still not audible.
Okay, I'm using a microphone, so it's going to switch it on from there too. Cool. Hi, everyone. Perfect. So overall, before we start the Q&A, I'm just going to share a quick message. It's a quick feedback form. I've stopped the chat for a few seconds, like a couple of minutes. So I want you to give a quick feedback on how we could improve the future sessions, or on what topics would you like to address the future sessions. Before we take up extensive Q&A, Richik will be here with us for another 15 minutes to answer some of your questions that we have got. So in the meanwhile, if you can just take another minute to, just 1 minute I'm going to give, because it's just like, just rate, and then you're done. If you can do that, we will start the Q&A in the next 1 minute. Perfect. So I hope all of you enjoyed the session. 1 second, I'm just going to open up the chat now. Sandeep, we will. They want to, Richik, they want to share the sample resume. Is it possible for you to share it so that we can mail it to them too?
Absolutely, yes. I'll share the sample resume. It will be shared with all of you.
Hey, perfect, guys. So along with that, the link to Urify will also be shared with all of you so that you can access the free resume builder for yourself. Cool. Awesome. In the meanwhile, also recording will also be available, so don't worry about it. In case you miss some aspects, we're going to also create a summary document that you can refer to. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Cool. Great. I hope all of you have filled up the feedback form. That's going to help us prepare the next sessions for you on topics that you would love. So now I'm going to start taking up these Q&A questions that we have already got. So the first one is, okay. Richik, the first question is a photo compulsory in a resume?
Not at all. Not at all. I'll give you quick 2 use cases. If you think that, okay, I don't look so good, etc., etc., trust me, you do. But the HR may have a bias. They might not like your photo and they will not select you. If you, on the other hand, think I am so handsome, I am so beautiful, my photograph will get me a job. Not at all. They might think you're a party goer, like you only party and you don't work. So even then they will reject it. Yeah. Avoid creating a bias by adding a photo. It's not required. In fact, it takes up unnecessary space.
So Richik, the next question is a full address compulsory on the resume? Complete address, is it a mandatory field on the resume?
Not at all. You should only mention your city and your state. Okay, city and state. Okay, by the way, let me give you a hack. You can put in brackets willing to relocate. A lot of HR first look at your location. So for example, if you apply to Bangalore and say you are sitting in Chennai, they might not give you preference because they're not sure if they will relocate. But if you put in brackets willing to relocate, they know you'll be happy to move and they will call you for an interview.
Perfect. Thanks for sharing that, Richik. Another question is, sir, as the courses and knowledge is free for all, how can I stand out from the crowd who might have the same skills? They might have also gone through the same YouTube videos like me. So how do I stand out?
Right. So first of all, remember 2 out of 100. So if you have done a course, you're already in the top tier, but it's the most little. You want to stand out, make a practical project. You want to stand out even further, have a relevant internship.
Okay, perfect. With that, I'll go to the next question. There's a question from Mugati Sheikh Raka. The question is, should we mention strengths and weaknesses in the resume?
Right. You know, there's this trend of mentioning your strengths and weaknesses. One more thing you would have seen, nowadays people on their resume, they rank themselves 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Have you guys seen this? How many of you, okay, let's see on this chat. How many of you think it's a good idea to put like 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10? Do you think it's a good idea? Good or bad? It's bad, not at all. Bad, not so, right? Right? Obviously, right? Because the moment you put that, listen, I am a 9 out of 10 in Python, and your boss, he has got 4 years of experience. You know what he'll say? Acha, this fresher, he thinks he's a 9 out of 10. Yeah, right. Yeah. Who the hell are you to rate yourself? Yeah. Avoid all these strengths, weaknesses. Leave those for the interview. Use the resume to show off your accomplishments. Let your work and your projects prove your skills.
Perfect. Absolutely. With that, I'll come to the next question. Is certificate with knowledge of skill important to be mentioned in the resume? So the question, I'll probably elaborate on the question. Is a certificate very important in terms of putting it up on a resume?
So I'll tell you what. See, you have to understand that what the company HR is looking for is proof, right? Anybody can write, I am a Python 9 out of 10. What's the proof? The certification is a proof. That's why it's great. But even if you don't have a certification, if you are giving a link to an actual project, what more proof is required? In any case, if you see today's date, even the graduation degree is like Kala degree, it's like black money, black degree. It doesn't certify anything. What really HR wants to see is, do you have the skills? Show your projects that you have done. That is your certification.
Cool. With that, I'm going to share one question that even during our college time, we have been told. So is it mandatory to create different resumes for different companies? or do I just create one good resume and share it with all the companies for all the jobs?
So it's the easy way out, right? Just have one generic resume and post it everywhere. But guys, I showed you the ATS, right? If you are going to do that, there is a high chance your resume gets rejected. But you know what? Forget the ATS. Even if the ATS is not there, if you customize a resume for a company, you are going to impress the HR because he will know you have created a resume particularly for that company. Okay, let me give an example here quickly before we move on. So for example, Sony. Now this Gaurav guy, right, why I brought it up, that IIT Guwahati. So he was applying to Sony as a game developer. Guys, I hope you're paying attention. So when he was applying to Sony, how did he customize his resume? Okay, can you guys quickly do this? Can all of you Google Sony's mission statement and search for the word Kando? Sony mission statement Kando. Let me see who is the first person who can post the right company mission. What is Sony's mission statement? With the word Kando, Kando. Let me see. Fastest fingers first. In the meanwhile, we can have the next question. Okay, great. I think one person has got it. That's great. The name, it's okay. The name is Dot. So I'm going to call you Dot. Dot, great work. So for the others, look at this. Sony's corporate mission is to be a company that provides customers with Kando. Okay, great. So now imagine you're applying to Sony as a Python developer and you write passionate game developer, skilled in Python, looking to create Kando in clients. That's it. You have just added one word. Imagine what the Sony HR. When the Sony HR reads your resume, he's like 1,000 resumes. Okay. Suddenly he sees the word Kando. He will immediately know it because it's his company's mission. And he will be damn impressed because you have taken the time to research the company mission statement and put it in your resume. Seen this? Yeah.
Absolutely, Richik. Richik, there is a question from Gautami Racharla. So I'm also going to allow her to speak if she's available. Gautami, if you're there, you can ask your questions directly, but I'll anyways read it out. I've given you the permissions to talk. You just need to click on the microphone button and speak. Her question is, if we don't have any certificates and not able to do any internships, will that affect my career? Is there any problem in that?
So of course not. Why will it affect your career? Your career is just starting. So if you don't have any internships, do an internship. The internship is the first step to your career, right? So even if you are not getting a job, go to angel.co, go to Internshala. Your first internship, even if you're not paid, is the beginning of your career. You do that job well, the sky is open. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm just going to go to the next question. How do you showcase your projects on a resume?
So like I mentioned, there are two things. Okay. There are two things you need to mention. Part one, the deep technology or the science behind it. So if you used a servo motor, which model was it? If you use some robotics, some complex circuitry, what was it? If you use some deep AI method, what was it? So you mentioned the technology and the keywords. Second, impact. What was the impact of that project? It received funding from government. It was the top 10% of all projects. It improved the robot stability by 15%. It was made using a budget of 600 rupees. What was so special about the project? Okay, the technology behind it and what was the impact. These two things, if you bring out, perfect.
Thanks for sharing that. Now we have Shubham Kumar. His question is, sir, I'm a BTech student. I have to apply for both core jobs as well as IT sector jobs. So what will be the basic difference in terms of resume building for these two different sectors of companies?
So okay, I see I have to apply for a core job. So as a BTech, what's your core job? It could be mechanical or civil, and IT, of course, there's IT jobs. There is no basic, it's completely different. Okay. So if you're applying for mechanical engineering, if you see, okay, let you remember that resume format I show you, relevant data, the relevant IT experience and other accomplishments. So your IT resume, your other accomplishments, which is your IT accomplishments, comes into relevant experience, and all your core experience goes into other accomplishments. When you're applying for a core job, again, you switch relevant core experience, put all your core experience, everything else put in the other section. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, Richik. So there was one question by Himanshu. This is just a general question, so I'll just pick it up. Sir, how to reach top recruiters from top companies on LinkedIn for internship? Himanshu, don't worry about it. We are planning a separate session probably the next weekend or the weekend after that, just to address how do you reach out to companies for internships and jobs? What is the ways that you can reach out to them? So don't worry about that. Cool. With that, I'll go to the next question by Manisha. Her question is, will research papers, when included in the resume, will they add like a good impact onto my resume? If yes, how do I structure these research papers when I'm positioning them or when I'm including them in my resume?
Okay. So it depends. First of all, is the research paper relevant? If yes, it's very powerful, right? Even otherwise, it's very powerful. You can put it in the other accomplishments. Second thing to consider, how many papers do you have? If you have like 1 or 2 papers, you can just put it in the relevant experience section. But say you have 3 or more papers. So you can just, remember I showed you in the resume builder, you can just add a section. So add a section called publications and papers. And in that, describe all the 3 papers. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm just picking up relevant questions. Just give me a moment. Vaibhav, I think one of the questions or one of the statements that Richik already mentioned was, as a fresher, try to have a single page resume. That becomes easy for everyone to use. You should not have more than 1 page at all. That's for multiple questions that you guys have asked. Yeah, Tejas, what we will do is, there are a lot of students here. There are almost like 500 people. So we will not be able to create a WhatsApp group. We will see if we can create like either a Facebook group or a Telegram channel where we could connect with you. So don't worry about it. Okay. There is Praveen Chandra Gupta's question. Sir, I am from civil engineering department and I have done an internship, but it is not relevant to my civil branch. Can I write it in my resume?
So Praveen, to answer your question, what you need to write in your resume depends only on one thing. What is that? What job are you applying to? If you are applying for a civil engineering job, then you don't need to mention an internship which is not relevant to your civil branch. But say you did an internship as a software developer and you're applying to a software developer role, then of course you will put it. What you put on your resume simply depends on one thing. What job are you applying to? Yeah. Okay. So can I also take up one more question, Yogesh? I saw this in the question. Should we put
Absolutely.
hobbies? So this question was, should we put hobbies and should we put the declaration? So guys, remember I have gone through so many resumes. Do you know what people put at hobbies? And Yogesh, you'll be surprised with this. You know, watching crime thrillers on Netflix. or you know, I play the guitar. Like, guys, come on. Are you going to be sitting in your boss's cabin and playing guitar? Are they going to give you salary to watch Netflix? Not at all. You know what hobbies you can put? For example, if you're applying as a content writer, you can write that your hobby is blogging and give a link to the blog. If you want to show off your analytical skills, you can show chess, but don't write chess if you've only played like 4 games with your younger brother. That's like saying badminton I played in my back gully. That's not badminton or chess. Can you show that chess? I was the top 10% of players in school. Did I win some school championship? Then it's worth mentioning. See, I'll give you a general rule. Everything in your resume, you need to show one thing. Listen, is it showing off my skills? You need to show off in your resume. It's an advertisement. Decide if what you're writing is showing you off. If it is not, don't write it. Okay. And the thing about the declaration, just 10 seconds. Come on. Are you guys lawyers? I solemnly swear that all the information on my resume is truest to the best of my knowledge. You think the HR is going to believe you? They are going to do a hardcore check on your background before hiring. It is a waste of space. Completely remove it. You will be able to fit your resume into one page. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, Richik. I think many of us write multiple lines about projects. It's just about 1 or 2 lines which are important. So the next question I would rather want to ask Valli. Valli, if you're here, the question that she has asked is, you can just unmute yourself. Just click on the microphone button at the bottom of your screen and you'll be able to speak. Her question is, I'm a 2020 engineering pass out candidate. I'm in search of a job right now. I've been working as a customer service associate. So how can I prepare my resume? Valli, can you ask your question further because it's not complete? You can just unmute and ask. Yeah, you can speak.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can
Sir,
hear
actually, I'm in search of IT job. Am I audible, sir?
you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm in search of IT job, and for 4 months I have been working as customer service associate, like taking calls and all those things. I have quit my job, and I'm in search of IT job right now. So how can I prepare my resume? Like, do I need to mention the past experience of 4 months?
So, Valli, quickly, I am about to give you a job in IT. Why should I hire you? What IT skills do you have?
Like Java and also the front-end technologies, sir.
So what have you done in Java and front-end technologies?
I have not, sir, actually, I have not performed any project in Java or front-end technologies, but I was part of a couple of internships on front-end technologies like HTML and CSS, sir.
How many, you have done internships in it?
Yes.
So great, then that's it. So that's what you should put on your resume. Your resume should have all your front-end internships. It should have all your certifications, everything. And the fact that you worked as a customer service, it can come towards the end. Okay, you've been working because it's pandemic. Everyone understands that. But that should not be the main focus of your resume. The main focus needs to be your internships and your certifications in the IT field. Yeah.
Perfect. Richik, with this, I'm coming to another question, which most of us also have done during or probably had during our college times. Should we mention the languages that we know? When I'm talking about languages, the vocal languages that we know in our resume.
So again, so like I said, guys, whenever you decide, I'm giving this as a general rule. Whenever you want to decide whether I should put this in my resume, you need to only ask one question. Can anyone tell me what that question is on chat? What is the question you should ask yourself before deciding should you put it on your resume or not? Is it relevant? Very nice. Very, very nice. I think I've got it. I think you guys have got it, right? So you need to check, is it relevant to put the languages? So for example, if you're applying to an IT job, you're going to be working in a corporate giant like Infosys. Does it matter that you know Hindi? Does it? It doesn't. Because nobody cares whether you know Hindi or Tamil or, Telugu. It's going to be English. But if you're applying to Byju's as a sales consultant, you will be closing sales, you'll be training. So you will be speaking to the families in Hindi, in Tamil. So over there, you need to mention what languages. Making sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, Richik, we are almost towards the end of the session. We have another minute. I'll just pick up one good question. I'm just searching for a good one.
Sure.
Okay. This is from an anonymous attendee. The question is, should we go through the reviews of a company before joining a company as a fresher? And the second part of the same question is, what if that company has negative reviews online?
So this is a very interesting question. You must be looking at Glassdoor reviews, right? So guys, there are 2 parts to this. Part 1, can you afford to be choosy? So if you do not have such a strong profile, and the company is probably even the review is not good, I will say suck it up. 67% people don't have a job. Having a job offer itself is a great idea. So while you're working in that company for 6-7 months, build up your profile, even get stronger, and you can change. But don't reject a job offer in this stage. Okay. Second, the way to come out of it is to actually have the choice. If you have such a strong profile, you have got 7 to 8 job offers, absolutely be my guest, do your research, and join the company that has the best culture. Yeah. And one third part of this is that, a very important part of you enjoying your work is if you enjoy the company culture. Okay. To just give you a broad basic thing. Now, startups, like for example, Zomato, it has a crazy work culture. They expect you to only work in the company day and night. Now, some people enjoy that. They're like, listen, I want to focus on my career now. I want to work. You will really enjoy working in a startup. But there are some people for whom work-life balance is important. You want to be very clear, listen, I want my weekends. I want to only have a 6 to 8 job. If that is what you want, then you should apply to a bigger company, because that is what will suit your culture. So 3 things. 1, can you be choosy? If you can't, suck it up. If you can be choosy, you have 7 to 8 job offers, be my guest. How do you be a guest? Check if you fit the company culture. Yeah.
Richik, thanks a lot for doing that, and for also taking patiently all these questions. So most of the questions have repeated multiple times. I've tried to pick up as many questions that are relevant to this discussion, and also the questions that would add immense value to the students at this moment in their life, in their career. So with that, we will end the session for today. Thanks everyone for joining us today in this session. We represent an organization called Campus Hire, which is in the enablement of campus placements for colleges and college students. So we help colleges increase their placements right in campus for their students. So the feedback form that we have shared with you earlier, if you have not filled up, would request you to take 1 minute of your time to fill it up so that we can curate more sessions like this with Richik and other experts from the industry based on your requirements, so that we don't have to randomly think, hey, this is what they will like. No, we will rather want to hear it from you and then curate it as per your requirement. Wow, I think they all are loving the session. And also Richik is promised to give all of you his tool for free to build out your first resume. Again, thanks a lot for doing that, Richik. It's going to help them immensely to get a job during this pandemic, which is again our intention of helping them here. So our intention is, as many of you here, please look out for these emails from us. You will have job opportunities, internship opportunities, all of them reaching your email, along with the link to Urify to build your new resume for all these opportunities. Then with that, thanks a lot, guys. For the email, please expect it tomorrow in the morning, along with the recording link. In case the recording is a little urgent for you, you can go to our Facebook page and then watch the recording immediately. Cool. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a great day ahead. See you next week with a new session then. Take care then. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone. See you then.